Virgo, this is your energy check-in love reading. We're tuning into the person on your mind or your current situation and the energy unfolding for you right now. Let's see what wants to come through. Clear messages, advice, and guidance for my Virgos, please. All right, your energy, the Devil in reverse, Capricorn energy. Your person, the Nine of Wands. Okay, they're viewing you as the Knight of Cups in reverse, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. What you're not seeing is the Four of Cups. And we see the Three of Wands in reverse, final outcome or advice. And we see the Seven of Pentacles. Okay, in true Virgo fashion, you are being patient, you're strategizing, you're looking at all the time and effort that you've put into this connection, whether it's a lot or it's a little. But with the Devil energy in reverse, I feel like you've worked really, really hard, Virgo, to not repeat any past mistakes, to fall back into any karmic patterns, to ignore red flags, to compromise. Not to say that you don't want to compromise, but compromise your standards. So I feel like you're very cautious here because it looks like you have somebody here who's very guarded and they may be emotionally unavailable, even if there's a strong physical attraction and they hold a torch for you. It's like they're coming off as emotionally unavailable, and I feel like that's something you just don't want to deal with anymore, or it's shown up for you as a red flag within this connection. Now this could be somebody you're starting to see or somebody you've been in a relationship with. Just trust your intuition. You know your story. All right, so Three of Swords, yeah. So Virgos, you've been heartbroken. Now it could be within this situation, but for a lot of you, it's just you are reacting to the heartbreak that you've experienced in the past by ignoring red flags or, compromising too much, overgiving, maybe not speaking your truth. So I feel like you're very hyper aware of, you have strong pattern recognition and you're very hyper aware of red flags. And this person seems to be exhibiting some of them for you. You're viewing them as the world energy in reverse. Okay, Taurus, Scorpio, Leo, Aquarius energy. The world in reverse can also be, this is somebody who just shows up very differently from you in the relationship. Maybe they have a different background. Maybe this is a long distance connection. And my Virgos, as much as you might like this person, some of you have been burned by long distance in the past or felt like you were, wasting time with that. You may feel like there's unfinished business with this person. Okay, like the connection hasn't quite concluded. But you're viewing the connection as the Queen of Swords. Yeah, you're taking a very cerebral, discerning approach to this connection. I feel like you're taking a lot of your emotion out of it, a lot of you're kind of trimming away like the passion and the sexiness and the butterflies, and you're being really, really discerning. Now, for some of you, this could be an ex. But for others of you, it's just someone you're looking at. You're not allowing your decisions to be driven by passion and impulse. And like I said, you're hyper aware of red flags. Your pattern recognition is strong. And something here is sending off signals that maybe you should wait or there's more that you need to look at. Your person, now we do have strong Libra, Gemini, Aquarius energy coming through with the Queen of Swords and the Knight of Swords. Your person wants to talk. Your person wants to come towards you. And maybe some of you, that's a little bit of the issue, is you may feel like this person is moving too quickly. Again, could be a red flag. You've been burned by rushing into things in the past. Or, a lot of times when people rush, it's because they kind of want you to get They want you to get emotionally involved before you see the real them or something like that. I mean, that's not for everyone. But you may feel like they're moving a bit quickly for your taste. Some of you, there's distance here and you're not sure you want to continue or you want to be involved in a long distance connection. And that distance can be physical distance, like they're in a different city, state, or country. But it can also be emotional distance, and I do see that here with the Four of Cups. Like you might be clocking that this person isn't that emotionally available, or emotionally available in the way that you may need for, a stable, healthy, happy relationship. Spirit's confirming that with something just isn't right. Now, the messages are kind of similar to the Pisces reading that I just did, which is your opposite sign. So if you want to check that out, do check that out. And just remember, Virgos, as well, that if there's a reading that isn't resonating with you, do check your other signs. I like to check my sun, moon, rising, Venus. I also check my north node when I'm dealing with soulmate issues or situations. All right, but yeah, Spirit's saying something just isn't right. Trust your intuition and keep seeking for more answers until your situation feels right. And that's why you're in the Seven of Pentacles energy. It's like you need to collect more data. You need to see, you need time to figure things out. All right, you are enough, Virgo. So there's nothing to be fixed. Your authentic self is complete and whole. Don't ever doubt who you are. We get some confirmation there from that bus. All right, and you were chosen. So you were chosen because you're perfect for this mission. Simply shine your light on the road ahead and you will help others to see their way. Okay, so again, like it's like Virgo, the work that you're doing, the information that you're gathering, like your clarity, it's like you're like you're the trailblazer, the groundbreaker here with your clarity. All right, and we see path to mastery. Yeah, you're stepping into a new expanded consciousness that you will soon master. You're not the same person you were before, Virgo. And I feel like the Virgo you were before, or the person you were before, because not all of you are Virgos who are listening, but the person you were before maybe wouldn't have recognized or be analyzing these red flags, or would have ignored this sense that like something isn't right or something isn't sitting with you right here. Now with the Nine of Wands, your person, this could be a past life soulmate connection. The Nine of Wands tells me this person holds the torch for you, Virgo, but this person is guarded, and they may be guarded, and they may even dip into defensiveness. All right, Page of Wands in reverse, yeah. So this person is actually lacking confidence. And that may be why they're really guarded. They may let their ego get in the way. Sometimes people who lack confidence are the loudest in the room. They're very defensive, or they come off as the most confident. But the Page of Wands in reverse tells me this person is lacking confidence. They may have one foot in the door, one foot out. This person may have also kind of rushed in and rushed out here. The Nine of Pentacles. Some of you, this person is used to being single. They're not used to being like connected. They're not used to being in a relationship. They're very self-reliant. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with this Venus and Virgo energy. But taking care of somebody else emotionally, physically, mentally, financially, whatever it might be, but showing up in a relationship may not be like second nature for this person. So they may be brushing up against that feeling, that uncomfortable feeling of having to think about somebody else as much as they think about themselves, right? And we see the Nine of Wands. Yeah, but this person, they're not down for the count, though. They're not done with this connection. They're not done with you. Like I said, they want to come towards you. They hold a torch for you, but I can see that they're feeling a little bit exhausted, because it hasn't been as easy as maybe it was in the beginning, or it hasn't been as easy as they were anticipating. They're viewing you as the Knight of Cups in reverse. So they're seeing my Virgos here as less committed than maybe you once were. They may be feeling like maybe you're dealing with other people, or that you're wishy-washy about them. And I don't think you're necessarily wishy-washy, but I mean, I do see you being on the fence, because something here has signaled to you that either you can't fully trust this, or they're not emotionally available, or there's an incompatibility here. They're viewing you as the Sun card. Again, something in the Pisces the Pisces got not this same Sun card, but they got the Sun card in the same position. You make this person happy. This person sees you as expansive, playful, fun, successful, getting a lot of attention, but they're not sure about your commitment here. All right. And we see the 10 of Cups in reverse. Yeah. So this person is wondering whether or not you actually want a relationship or not. They may be seeing you as somebody who's around for a good time, not a long time. And I don't think that's actually how you're feeling or your initial feelings, but I do think like you're pulling back from more of the relationship stuff and like future planning with this person. And the 5 of Wands in reverse. They realize you don't want drama, you don't want chaos. I can see this person being a bit defensive, being a little bit self-centered, egocentric. And with the 5 of Wands in reverse, they know that you don't like drama, you don't like fighting. I'm wondering if this person was like, starting little fights or creating tension within the connection where maybe you don't feel it was necessary. But I do think this is somebody that wants to heal things. They do imagine themselves in a relationship with you. All right. And at the bottom of the deck, we see the Ace of Cups, and they certainly do want a new beginning here with you, Virgo. They do have love for you, or they are in love with you. But I don't know. It just feels like maybe their ego gets in the way sometimes. Let's see what else we need to really know about this person. All right. So we see addict energy. So helps you recognize and confront addictive behavior. This person may or may not do that. But what I'm getting is like the connection here, the purpose of this connection, Virgo, is to show you devil energy in reverse, what works and what doesn't work for you. Patterns that won't work in a relationship or that don't feel healthy. And I feel like there's something that's happened between the two of you, or something they've done or they've said, probably repeatedly, that's, again, sending off these, alarm bells here for you. And we see goddess energy. So again, whether this person is masculine or feminine, it's not the point. The feminine expressed through wisdom, nature, life force, and sensuality. So this person has a lot to offer. This person is sexy, they're sensual, okay? They have a lot of wisdom. So I can see why you've fallen for this person, okay? Let's see how they're viewing you. How are they viewing my Virgos? How are they viewing my Virgos? Pioneer energy, compulsive need to keep moving on. Yeah, see, this person doesn't think you're going to stick around or that you want to put time and effort into the connection. And Virgin, that's the Virgo archetype, right? Maintaining symbolic purity of heart and spirit. So they see you as a good person. They see you as pure in heart and spirit, but they feel like you're moving on. And like a lot of my Virgos, they're quite accurate in that. Right? Because you're doing a major assessment about whether or not you want to keep going with this, whether it's in alignment with you. And again, for some of you, it's just because there's distance, and you're just realizing I need somebody who's going to actually, spend time with me. Maybe not every day, but, hopefully I can see them on the weekends, or I can see them, twice a week, or, 3 times a week, or whatever it might be. Right? And it's like, if there's distance, you're like, yeah, that you're realizing it might not work for you. But for others of you, it's not physical distance. It's emotional, because this person is showing up as the 4 of Cups, which is one of my closed off emotionally cards, right? My cards for not being emotionally available. And again, they're used to being single, or they're used to being independent. So I do feel like it's a bit of like a tough transition for them to be like in a relationship or having to think about somebody else all the time. Double 4 of Cups. Oof. Okay. And the 5 of Cups. They do want to heal things, but now we get this to me as triple 4 of Cups. So this person may not be emotionally available, Virgo. And the 7 of Swords energy in reverse. Now, I think this person is also going to send you a surprise message, apology, or some sort of love offer, because they know they need to be more emotionally available or open up to you in order for this to move forward. And I think they know they need to be transparent with you. But ooh, it's a really tough sell. I'm getting this person, they just showed me a walnut, and like a really tight walnut. Like this person is very, very tight, very closed off is what I'm getting. The 3 of Wands in reverse tells me distance here. This connection may be blocked. 8 of Swords. Yeah. You're in your head about this for a reason. Something feels karmic for you, Virgo, with this connection. You two are very different. You're not sure about connection, like you're not sure about a higher level of commitment. The Page of Pentacles. It may be time to reach out or talk or clarify with this person. All right, the Ten of Wands. This person is definitely feeling overburdened. They hold a torch for you, though. That's really coming through. But this is proving to be quite heavy for them. I mean, I think it's also really heavy for you as well. But some of my Virgos, I feel like it may be you that needs to step up and make the decision about this connection and about whether or not it works or whether or not it's compatible. All right, let's see what we need to know about this person. Something here is being shown to you, like, you know, is this a repeating pattern, Virgo? Again, I keep hearing pattern recognition. You're very good at pattern recognition. Sending you love. So this person does have love for you, Virgo. Some of you might work with this person. Lunch break and work affairs. Some of you, again, you're wishing you could actually see this person. Maybe we can grab lunch together. Maybe we could see each other. And I don't know if it's just their schedule that doesn't allow for it, or there's that distance here. And returning, they do want to come back around to you. We see eye candy. I do think this person's very sexy and very attractive. But you need more than that, Virgo, and I think you know that. I mean, I don't think I need to tell you that. You need more than just somebody sexy and attractive by your side. You need somebody who's going to actually, you know, share with you, build with you, grow with you. All right, let's see what else we need to know. We see this person being sincere. We see married and dark hair and eyes. Okay, so, I mean, what I'm seeing, and we see closed off, but I do think this person is emotionally closed off. This person is going to come in with sincere thoughts and feelings about being coupled up, about commitment. Again, they might have dark hair and eyes. You might, again, that's a very specific message here. We do get this like energy of them coming in with honesty and sincerity about how they feel about real commitment. All right, let's see. Yeah, an addiction is affecting this relationship. And again, it's interesting that they come out as the addict archetype, because I do kind of feel, I mean, addiction can obviously be drugs, alcohol, gambling, things like that. But on my channel, it's more so something somebody needs to get out from under, something that they keep repeating or they keep going back to without even really realizing it. And it feels like an unhealthy pattern or habit. Yeah, and my Virgos, this is you. Does this situation align with your values and your morals? Children are important to this partnership, so about what you want to build for the future, whether that's having actual, you know, human children, whether it's, you know, it's like, it's what you want, how you view your future. You know, because some of my Virgos, that's what you want. You want family, you want commitment, you want to build something. And again, this person feels like they're very independent. They have a hard time with that balance between independence and interconnectedness and emotional availability. For some of you, you could be a single parent, or this person is. For some of you, with that children card, this person may need to grow up. All right, and Spirit saying it's safe to make the move you're considering, Virgo, whatever that might be. Is it moving towards this person, having a conversation? Is it taking a leap of faith in a different direction? Spirit's telling you to go slow. There's strong physical attraction and chemistry here. Okay. Let's see what they want to say to you, Virgo. What does this person want to say to my Virgos? What does this person want to say to my Virgos? I haven't given up on us yet. Okay, I do feel that. I think that's accurate. And there were other things that got in the way of us being together, third-party energy. Now remember, this doesn't have to be romantic rivals. It can be, I mean, I think you would know already, but it could be family, it could be work, it could be distance. All right, and I left when things got hard. Again, my Virgos, that's probably going to piss you off, right? That they didn't stand and fight, or they didn't, you know, that they took the easy road out when there was like an argument or disagreement or a difficult patch. And again, this person is a bit emotionally guarded. I would even say it's safe to say they're emotionally blocked. And so it's about really soul searching to see is this somebody you can be with? Because I do think if there's a fight or an argument, this person has a really hard time with repair. What they would like to say to you that they may not be able to articulate is, I should have been more honest with you about how I was feeling at the time. I do think that you will get truth and honesty from this person. I'm reminded of you constantly. All right, and how could you still love me after all I've done? So they do have regret and remorse. All right, so what are this person's very next actions towards my Virgos? What are this person's very next actions towards my Virgos, please? 3 of Swords. Okay, they're hurting, they're heartbroken, they're being strategic, they're waiting to come towards you and communicate. But I do think that it will probably be about a week from now, okay? And we'll be out of Mercury retrograde by then. So I do think there's this, they could be throwing themselves a bit of a pity party. They could be looking at that third party energy that's holding them back, strategizing. But then we see the Chariot card, Cancerian energy, having a breakthrough and communicating. All right, and at the bottom of the deck, we see the 8 of Cups. Now this can be moving towards 10 of Cups. It can also be walking away. All right, Virgos. So I do think within a week or so, you're going to get honesty about this person, about what you should do here. Whether or not this is in alignment, whether it's time to, whether this can be worked on, or whether or not it's time to move in a different direction. Let's go to the Grounded Response Oracle. All right, let the discomfort pass. Not every feeling requires action. Some truths do. Speak your mind, Virgo, if necessary, but, right now it's uncomfortable, but allow it to pass. Give it some time. You don't need proof. This trust doesn't require constant confirmation. Okay? So right now you don't need proof about how they feel. You don't need to prove to them how you're feeling, because it's you're both kind of going through a review. It makes sense. We're in Mercury retrograde. Stay open but not attached. I like that message. And it's hard to stay. It's hard to be in that energy. It's hard to get to that place. Stay open but not attached, and observe right now. Right now you're meant to observe, not to interpret, not to do your head in. Okay, and choose to stay present here, Virgo. Stay present, stay grounded. All right, my Virgos, I'm going to leave it here, sending you love and light. Take care.